I'm Casey Parsons, and you are listening to the True North Country Comics Podcast.
Welcome to the True North Country Comics Podcast, dedicated to promote Canadian comic book and graphic novel creators and supporters. I'm John Swinimer. On this episode, I chat with Casey Parsons about the new anthology, Cauldron, Forbidden Appetites. This podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Please like and subscribe to that video channel. Casey Parsons is an artist from Stoney Creek, Ontario. He trained as a fine artist and illustrator, graduating in art programs from Sheridan College and McMaster University. In addition to his variant cover artwork for Image Comics, Source Point Press, and other indie titles, Casey recently created artwork for the Marvel Cards portfolio. He's an artist, writer, and co-publisher and co-editor on the ongoing indie magazine Cauldron. More recently, Casey is a contributor to the new anthology Cauldron, Forbidden Appetites. Cauldron Forbidden Appetites is a deluxe high-quality archival hardcover anthology that's described as Art House meets Grindhouse. Published by Raid Press as an homage to the creepy and eerie magazines of the past, this anthology collects the edgy contemporary supernatural tales found in Cauldron magazine into one complete offering for mature readers. So without further ado, here's my chat with Casey Parsons about the new anthology Cauldron Forbidden Appetites. So Casey Parsons, thank you very much for talking to me.
Hey, thanks for inviting me. Yeah, nice to be on here again.
Absolutely. I know you're busy with a lot of different activities on the go. You're always moving around. But before we get to all the questions, what are you reading today? What's on your bedside reading table?
Oh boy, I kind of always have a mix of things between novels and comics. If we're talking comics, basically the last couple of years I've been reading things my friends make. So I'm always reading like Chip Zdarsky's Batman, and his Daredevil run ended. Capterra just ended, and he's got the new issue of Newburn coming out now, which I'm excited to get home and read again. And other than that, I read novels. So right now I'm reading Neil Gaiman's View from the Cheap Seats as well. So I always have a pile of things like Philadelphia and a few others. Yeah.
Lots of good stuff there, that's for sure. Now, I've been speaking with your Cauldron colleagues about the new anthology that's coming out. So I wanted to ask you, what's going on with that? What's your participation in that version?
I'm kind of behind the scenes just as far as like the promotional stuff and giving Raid whatever it needs to get the book out. It'll be selections of the work that I've done in the previous issues that'll be put in. So I haven't had a chance to do any new material for this. It won't happen, but I wouldn't mind doing a pinup if I had the time to. Yeah, so basically it'll be a selection of sort of a best of Cauldron, but there is going to be new material in this collection. It'll be a beautiful art-centric book, like hardbound, and the design looks really, really nice. Like Ramon Perez from Raid is doing an incredible job, and everyone else there, Sam and the guys helping out.
Yeah, lots of people working on this project. I mean, it's been sort of a culmination, I guess you could say, as an anthology of the work that you've done and others have done. So it'd be great to have it all in one place. So I'm sure people look forward to that.
Yeah, definitely.
So I understand.
To see it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I understand you've been working on some illustration work for Marvel Cards. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so finally I've been able to, in the last couple of weeks, announce and drop that this is all, we've been waiting like about almost 2 years now to be able to share this. So I did a whole bunch of cards going back to early 2022 now, even late 2021, I think. So far, the Marvel Fleer Ultra Midnight Suns has been released. And I've got cards in there. They're like rare glow-in-the-dark cards. And I've got about 8 of them in there. But the main one coming out, which just got delayed. It was supposed to be out yesterday, actually, but it's been pushed back to March 27th now, is the Marvel Platinum, the 2023 Marvel Platinum cards, which is awesome. I got a ton of cards in there. And crazy enough, they gave me the box cover, which I still can't believe, because you've got guys like Bill Sienkiewicz and Ron Lim, and I think Mike Allred are in there. Like there's a huge roster of great artists in there, so I was really honored by that. Even just to do these cards has been such a pleasure.
How'd you get involved with it?
Funny enough, I did Sam was with me at the time. I was in we were out in BC there, and I in a hotel, and I was finishing up a Hulk pinup. Just Hulk's always been kind of my favorite hero growing up, and it was his 60th anniversary, and someone from Marvel saw that and kind of had their eye on me a little bit, and it was thanks to Annabelle and I don't know if I pronounced her name right, Liza, I believe, from Marvel, like who was with the Upper Deck and the cards and all that. There's a few people scenes that I don't know too, but I've just got CC'd on something else and signing big contracts and all that. But yeah, so it was like Annabelle's hard work from Kirby's comic art, and I guess they liked what they saw, and Annabelle kind of put it together, made it happen, and I of course said yes.
Of course, yeah, no, that's a great opportunity for sure. Now you're also busy with cover art. I wanted to ask you, what's your newest project you've got going on?
Well, actually, I had kind of an adventurous evening yesterday, as you know. There's a book coming out from Massive Publishing, partnered with Whatnot Comics, the Whatnot Entertainment. So it's Massive Publishing. The book is called Crash Down. So I've done some covers for these guys. They've shown the second issue cover now. I haven't been able to show the third one yet, but there are more covers coming. So the first issue just dropped yesterday, and they had a big kind of live stream all day, but technology here was being a little wonky, and I wasn't able to get on the show, unfortunately. But that's Comic Tom was the writer with Ryan Sargent, and Ben Templesmith is doing the art on the book. And there's just a slew of amazing covers. So yeah, head over to your local comic shop or check out the Whatnot page. Yeah, just check out those books. Like Jim Mafood did an awesome cover. There's just great covers. So David Mack, there's a whole slew. Like there's the Kirby's comic art team did a bunch of covers as well. So
that's great. Yeah. That's great. Now
it's
with
an
all
exciting
that,
book too.
Yeah, it sounds like it. You got so much on the go. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about, or that you're allowed to talk about right now that you have on the go?
The only other cover I think that hasn't come out yet that's coming is Brand God. It's also Massive Publishing, and I did a cover that was based on a famous Call of Duty video game image. So I used their character in the same, and did kind of an homage to that. So they did kind of a sort of a gaming variant, and I did the art for that. Not too much else I can talk about now. I've done some more cards, but it's something a little different, like with Upper Deck as well. I can't say what it is yet.
Okay. Well, in good time, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm hoping to do some personal projects too. And other than that, it's about all I can say for what's kind of coming up.
Sure.
I'm excited to get those platinum cards. I'm excited to see Cauldron come out. And, I'm proud of everyone who was part of that funny little dream a group of us had out of Toronto. There's just been some beautiful writing and work, and it really gave us a playground to explore and push something beautiful that just wasn't happening at the time. I was privileged to work with Casey Pierce and Jonathan Kochuba, so it was really fun because I got to put on different hats as a writer, cover artist, a writer and artist. I did art for someone else's story, and Ricky Lima as well was the first one. Yeah, and some pinups. And so a lot of our friends are in that book, and a lot of people wanted to be in the book. Can't get everybody in there, but it was a pride, right? A passion project. So we took good care of that one. So I'm really excited to see what this best of looks like coming out.
Now, we've talked about your tools in the past, but I wanted to ask you, what's your go-to tool for creating art these days?
Yeah, I change it up. Right now, I've kind of switched back to a lot of acrylics. I was doing everything in the world to avoid acrylics, but I end up kind of using them over and over. I mean, they're just handy as far as layering and doing effects with. You can send them out and they dry super quick, so you can scan right away. Because I would love to work in oils, but it's hard to travel with and hard to scan, and you have to wait for it to dry. So I'm trying to find all kinds of other techniques. And I'm still always playing around. Like I've found I can do watercolor on top of like other mediums that you shouldn't be able to really. Just playing with intermediary kind of mediums and things. There's like aqua grounds and things. So just always playing around a little bit.
Well, it's tough to be portable with all those different tools, I guess, right? As you say, when you're on the go.
Well, you see, I travel a lot, and my luggage is always either right to the max or just over, or I paid it overweight charges a couple of times traveling. because I do bring, as people have seen me at the conventions, I'm like the go-to guy who has like everything on me, and I've been trying to pare it down over time, because I'm just like, oh, I might need this, I might use this, I might use this. It's different than working digital, like, because like I just want my whole studio with me if I can, and it's tricky.
Sure. Yeah.
It's tricky.
I've been asking a lot of your colleagues this question. I'd like to ask you, as a professional in the comic book field, what's one piece of advice that you'd pass along to someone who's planning on making their own book?
The biggest thing, I mean, there's a couple of things really. One is get good. I think like keep pushing and learning and growing, like, and that's a never-ending thing. The other side to that, you never quite feel good enough in a sense. And that's almost like a good place to be. That means you're probably doing something right, but it may stop you from jumping in. And I would also say just jump in. Like, don't wait on anything. Like, put something together. And if it flops, that's fine. Like, you learn so much just by the doing and by going through the processes. And every time it's like, okay, I won't do that again, or I won't go with these guys, or I won't publish here, or, I'll use this paper, these inks, whatever. And you just keep learning and learning as you go, but you have to be doing it. That's the thing. And just, it's in your blood. Like, you just want to, like, a drive, and just work at it every day, even a little bit. Like, try and squeeze time in. Just keep at it. Just push, like, motivate yourself.
Where can people find you online to find out more about your current and your future projects?
So Instagram is good, KCArts77. You can also go to my Facebook page, The Artwork of Casey Parsons, and you can always find us, all the artists that I'm teamed with, at kirbyscottart.com.
Thanks to Casey for the chat. You can discover more about Casey on Instagram at KCArts77 and online at kirbyscomicsart.com/Casey-Parsons. And you can check out the Cauldron Forbidden Appetites anthology on Kickstarter. Thanks to you for listening to the True North Country Comics podcast. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to and like this podcast on Apple Podcasts. And please check out the TrueNorthCountryComics.com website. True North Country Comics is now on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to that video channel and hit the notification button. You can follow along at True North Country Comics on most social media sites. And please send any and all feedback, any questions at all, to John at TrueNorthCountryComics.com. Thanks for listening, and come back soon for another episode. Bye for now. True North Country Comics podcast is copyright True North Country Comics, copyright 2024.